Hi, I'm Darian.
Hi, I'm Caleb.
And today we are talking about 10 games that don't have boards.
Yes. Board games that don't have boards. How is that possible, you ask? Well, we'll tell you. Okay. So these are just 10 games that feel like it has a complete board, but
They don't.
yes, you necessarily don't actually open the box and you fold
There's
open the
not
board.
a big board to actually move pieces and stuff on, but like some of them make you build your own board or just lay certain things out.
Yeah.
That are on no specific order. They're just there to games we want to talk about that don't have boards. But
yeah. So this isn't like a top 10 list.
No
it's just
top
like in any order. Yeah, whatever.
yeah, in
order,
any
so.
order.
First on our list is a game called Carcassonne.
Oh yes.
And it is a modern classic at this point. Definitely has been around for quite some time. I don't remember really how long. And pretty much what's in the box are a bunch of meeples of different colors and different tiles that represent either fields, roads, or cities. And on your turn, all you do...
Or both.
Yes, or both. Yeah, it's
Or
like
all three.
yeah, it's a mixture. And then I think in the box there's an expansion for the river.
Mm-hmm.
We've never used it.
Yeah.
We don't really know how it works.
Yeah.
But pretty much you just draw a tile randomly, and then you find out where you put it, and you either score based on the road lengths or the city size or the monastery, and then those are just like surrounding tiles. Mm-hmm. It's very simple, very, very simple, but the strategy is really deep, I think.
Oh yeah, it gets really aggressive sometimes.
It can, because you can like, oh well, you're in that city.
Can I
and
say that
I'm
again? My voice cracked.
Yeah, no.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, no, you're good. Go. But mine does too.
Why did
I know.
do that?
I know. That's what happens to me.
But it really does get aggressive sometimes. Like
Yeah.
you're going at each other, trying to prevent each other from getting points and stuff, and just trying to stop the other person from earning the points of something else.
Yeah.
Like it's
so
but
funny.
also you can't really strategize because you don't know what tile you're gonna pull.
No idea.
And so
Well, the strategy is on your turn always.
Mm-hmm.
So it just and by the time that it gets back to you, there's already like 4 tiles. Well, depending on how many players.
Yeah.
But like there's already more tiles out.
and maybe the path that you were planning on take has already been taken.
Yeah, and it's so cool because like every time you play, it looks just like a big old city.
Big city that you built.
Yeah, exactly. And it is based in the real life Carcassonne area, wherever that might be. I'm not sure. I think it's France. I have no idea. So that is Carcassonne.
Carcassonne. Next up is a cute little game that honestly we bought because of the front cover. Like, let's be honest. It was,
Well, and we knew about it from...
we did. We knew a little bit about it, but like it was really, it's just cute art. It's cute style, and the game's just fun. Next up is Takenoko. Takenoko is a tile placement game where the players are you're both actually the panda and the gardener, and your goal is to complete these cards that you get to choose from. There's 3 different ones. There is the tile cards,
or the lands,
the types
of lands,
the gardener card, the panda card, and each give you different objectives, different goals that you need to reach. It's really cool because everyone has their own little player mat where you get
2 actions.
Yeah, 2 actions, and
I think there's 5 different actions.
5 different things that you can choose from on the board. But then there's this die that you get to roll at the start of your turn, and it's called the weather die, and it will affect what you can do as your bonus action.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. It's random, but it's always really fun. So
yeah, especially when you roll a lightning, it causes the panda to get scared and run away and forcibly
it's very
eat.
thematic.
Yeah.
Thematic.
It kind of is. It for such a light game, it does have a little bit of theme to it. I see that. Yeah.
But the next cool part is that each tile that you pull, and depending on the weather, on what you roll, what you do, you can grow these little bamboo tiles.
Yeah, and you have to irrigate the land too, so you have to
it has to be attached to water for it to be able to, grow, which is really cool. or if it has like a water tile on there.
Yeah, then it's automatically.
But it's really
grown.
cool. They're little bamboo pieces that you get to just stack on each other. And
Yeah.
it's kind of therapeutic, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
like,
it looks so cool on the table because
when you have like this big forest going, because we got a pretty big map.
Yeah, we did on the second time. So we kind of played it wrong the first time.
Yeah, I think we watched a video to help.
Yeah.
But once we got it, when we actually played it, we had a big board. We had bamboo growing everywhere. We were going back and forth at each other. It was a really fun game, and that's what makes it. Like, I thought I was playing like a war game. I'll be honest with you.
It's pretty intense.
Like, you're going back and forth. You're trying to prevent the other person from winning too.
Yeah, but it's almost in an indirect way. Like, you don't really
because you don't know what they're doing.
Well, kind of, but you also need to focus more on yourself, and you don't have time to even worry about like stopping somebody else because it's like if the weather die messes
what
you
you're
up.
Gonna do.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's Takenoko, and it's really fun, and it does feel like it has its own board. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it really does. Because like you start with nothing, it's just one tile in the middle, and then eventually it just becomes something else. And so
But it's a game that I will gladly pull out for newcomers.
For sure.
Takenoko.
Yep. So next up is Seven Wonders Architects, and the reason why I didn't choose Seven Wonders is because everybody does have a player board, and they're kind of large in a way. But you could still probably pick Seven Wonders and it'd be fine. But Seven Wonders
still feels like a card game.
Yeah, it still is. I mean, it's a drafting game. But yeah, Seven Wonders Architects specifically, oh wow. I mean, that is the simplest game to teach anybody. I think our kids could do it. I
honestly think so.
It's done. So what you do is everybody has like a certain stack of cards, and you put it to your left, I think, or right, or whatever.
Basically
everybody
in between you and the next player.
Yeah. So what's so cool is that you either take a card from your left, from your right, or from the middle. Yeah. And so once you do that, you have this. Everybody has a certain type of wonder, and that's either
trying to build,
exactly
to construct it.
Yeah, it could be Babylon, I think, is in there. Rhodes. You have the pyramids. At Seven Wonders, pretty much. So everybody's wonder is 5 different pieces, and after you draw a card, and then you have for you to build the first part of your wonder, you have to have equal or the exact same type of resource. So say it's like clay. You get 2 clay, and then you turn that in to build the first part, and you get points for it. So once one player builds their last part of the wonder, they win. And it's just amazing because like you can go into conflict with everybody.
Teach it to honestly anyone.
Yeah,
it's that simple. And it's just like a fun game to bring out.
Oh yeah, I mean it's very much like it could be a warm-up game. It could be, it could
be a time to cool down game.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not exactly direct conflict. Like a lot of these are.
There's still the aspect of actual fighting in the game too, which is a little bit different, but even that still feels not even too bad.
Yeah, Seven Wonders is just a great system in general, and when they did Seven Wonders Duel, that's a fantastic game too.
Fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Every version of Seven Wonders, and there's only 3 right now, it's so great because they all feel slightly different, but use the same mechanisms of like getting resources to pay for things to increase and build up your wonder. It's like a tiny little civilization game in a box, and it's so
Seven
cool.
Wonders Duel is by far one of my favorites.
Yeah, for sure. It's always gonna stay
Even though
here.
I've lost every single
Pretty
game.
much. You really have. Yeah, it's like I don't know what it is. I see it like I'm like, oh okay. I'm gonna stack these, pay for stone and all this stuff, and we have such a time with it. It's wonderful. That is Seven Wonders Architects.
If you guys end up liking this video, please leave us like and subscribe with us. We are slowly growing, and we do appreciate everyone's support.
Yes.
And if you do like the video, it would really mean a lot to us if you gave us that extra little support.
Yes, please subscribe. Thank you.
This next one is something we've only played about 3 times now.
Yeah, but
every time
we just smile.
It's just so fun.
We laugh so hard.
Yeah, the next one is Modern Art.
Yes.
This game, let me tell you, it's so simple. It is you're auctioning off paintings. you're trying to bid the highest, but also not spend too much of your money because you win by how much money you have at the end of the game. So it's really like you got to think about what you're doing. Yeah. Each painting is legit. It's from different artists, like 4 different artists. Right?
5. I think there's 5 different.
5 different artists. Yeah. And each have like their own different paintings, and there's a big stack of cards.
Yeah, well, I feel like there could be more in a way. Like
there
I feel
could be more, but like for how much art they did for, it's amazing. Yeah, and it's all really pretty art. So every card has like their own type of auction that you end up doing for that auction, and then you take turns, obviously. So I'm not going to go through all the auctions because there's quite a few different ones.
Yeah, but it's like whoever bids the most on this,
or you put it in your hand and you drop it. And no one it's really fun.
Or say a number or pass if you don't want to. It's so cool. Yeah, and I mean, you're just bidding, and what I love too is that the value on all of these could be whatever you want it to be. Yeah. Like, it could be, okay, this one is $1 million, and then versus, like, $10 or something.
No, 10,000.
Or 10,000,
It's always at least 1,000.
Yeah, but you could just say it's 100. Yeah, I think the rules state that you can make it $1 million or billions if you want to. Yeah. So,
but I usually say in the 10,000 range.
Yeah, it just makes more. It sounds more high class, but not too, outrageous.
But it's modern art is just really fun. Yeah. It's fun to do with your friends. To get at a table and start all bidding against each other.
I mean, you're laughing, you're rolling on the floor this is ridiculous.
Because you get into it. It's,
well, I mean, it's bluffing too because you gotta if you want to say, oh yeah, don't worry, I'm going to pay more, but then you don't know the next person, so it's like
depending on how many artists you have of that art.
Yes,
the board that comes with it, the little bonus core.
So there is a board. Oh no.
It's not necessarily a player. It's like more of like a team board, I guess you would say. Yeah. So it has every single artist on there. And there's 4 different rows because there's 4 rounds. And depending on how much...
or how many types of cards.
Yeah, how many types of cards were used of an artist, that artist sold the most.
Yeah, and then you would get the bonus if you bought those paintings.
Yeah, you get the money if you paid for those paintings. So it's really like you got to try to pay attention to what's being played.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, well, there's already 2 red cards out, but if I play more greens, then I can move it into my favor.
Yeah, and sometimes you gotta hope that no one's gonna auction something too much. Yeah. Or bid too much, and then
Oh yeah, so, it's a great
just
great
a good
time.
Game.
Yeah.
Modern art.
Mm-hmm. All right, next is Rivals for Catan, and we have not played this in a very long time.
I don't remember it, to be honest, so this is going to be a refresher for me. So.
Sure, I'll tell you all about it. No, so if you're familiar with modern board gaming, Catan is the game, or Settlers of Catan, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. That was that's a lot of people's intro to modern hobbying. Mm-hmm. And I mean, obviously Catan does have a board, but this one, it deals with cards. So the cards kind of make up the board, and there's adjacency stuff. So, but it's really, it just makes Catan 2 players, and it's very unique in that sense that it doesn't do exactly what Catan does, but makes it kind of its own. So, I mean, it's been a while since we played it, but I just remember, oh wow, it feels like a board because everybody is kind of, or each player is sharing off of whatever's there, and
like I said, I barely remember it. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's development cards. You still build up your town into a city. You can have fields and stuff. But it doesn't take too much table space, and it's just a great 2-player game. Mm-hmm. But that is definitely one that I wanted to mention. So, Rivals for Catan.
Next up is just a fun game. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. Not a single thing wrong with it. And
the clue killer.
The clue killer.
That's what I call it.
Mysterium.
Yes.
Oh my god, Mysterium. This was one of the first games that I started to play after Dead of Winter. Mm-hmm. So this was another one was one of my firsts. Mm-hmm. So I cherish it a lot. Yeah. It was a big moment for me when I finally got to be the ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. It was me playing for so many rounds, and you're like, I really want to try this, Where I like you're like, I think it'd be so great to be, and yeah, it's so good being the ghost.
It's so fun. So basically, in Mysterium, there is a ghost, and then there are going to be investigators. These investigators are trying to figure out who killed me, and I can't say anything. I'm like in a haze, so I'm just sending them like images, like very abstract images. There's going to be a people, thing, people, place, and then an item.
Yeah, so pretty much like the Clue basis, but everybody's working together, so it's not.
And I've never played Clue, so I'm kind of scared too now, considering I played Mysterium first.
It's just a roll and move, and then if you don't get to the room that you need to find your thing in, it's like, well, I don't know. That I'm not going to trash on Clue.
But in Mysterium, like, you're going through these rounds and you only have so much time on this clock to try to achieve and figure out who the killer is. And you all have to work together. Very cooperative game. So you're all going to be working together as I give you the clues, as the ghosts give you the clues. Each round kind of starts where I give you a card, and you all look at that card and try to figure out who the person was.
Yeah, so for example, let's just say like there's a lot of water in one picture, and then there's like a bathroom or there's an axe in one of the photos, and some guy's is like a lumberjack. Oh my gosh, then it could correlate to that. But it could be something in the background of that's like, I don't know, a tree.
The ghost looked at and was like, they'll look at that.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
It's a hard game.
Yeah, it is, because you kind of have to be in the mind of the other person.
Yeah.
Like, what would they like? Is it color based? Is it because there's a flower and not a gun here or whatever? It's so cool, and the abstract art is beautiful.
So basically, what you do is everyone gets their own person that I'm trying to get them to guess. Everyone gets their own place that I'm trying to get them to guess, and everyone gets their own item that I'm trying to get them to guess.
Yeah, and the end game's a little confusing to explain, but so normally when we play it, we don't ever teach people the end part, because I'm like, oh, we'll just get to it. It's really like you don't need to put your mind in that spot.
You'll pick up on it really fast.
Oh yeah, you're like,
it's
oh,
hard
okay.
to explain.
Yeah, sure. Because like even though everybody's getting their own person, place, and item, it's like everybody has to vote on that right one, and it's really cool.
Pretty good explanation.
Yeah.
So that is basically what it is, but it's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, it is.
Gets to that point.
Yeah, but it's such a treat, and then because like the ghost has this big mansion thing that they're hiding behind, and like, okay, so let me see, and like.
Everyone's cards, their people, their places, like it's all hidden behind. No one can see it. It's really fun. It's really fun being the ghost, and it's also really fun being an investigator. So
some of the most memorable times we've ever had playing a game is Mysterium. It really is.
Yeah. So Mysterium.
So I love this game with such a fiery passion, and that is Five Tribes. Five Tribes is fantastic on so many levels. So when you start up and set up the game, it's just these tiles, and I think it's just rows. I forgot how many there are, but it's like a 10 by 7 or something like that. It's maybe not even that many, but it doesn't matter. So what you do is, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Mancala, but it has, or Mancala, however you pronounce that. It has the same kind of system where you pick up all things on one tile, and then you drop them along the way. And whenever you drop the last colored type of meeple, you grab everything on that tile.
That is that color.
Yes. And then whatever type of meeple it is, it'll trigger a certain action sometimes. Like if it's the red ones, it's the assassin. So like for however many meeples you have, it's that many spaces away that you can assassinate one of the characters or whatever. If it's like a white meeple, it's like 2 victory points that are called the elders. But yeah,
every meeple has their own
ability kind of. And then along with that, what we love so much about it is the bidding for turn order. And what you do is I love bidding games, and this just has like a little small mechanic in there, but it's, you just pay like a little bit to be first place. And then if the person,
you want to conserve your coins,
exactly,
because
you don't, exactly, you don't want to use them all, but it's like, oh, I really know I need to go first, so I can get like all of these colors right here. That's what I'm going for. I have to get them, because like, especially when you want to collect certain types of those meeples, you can then in turn use them to purchase these Gen cards. I think that's how you pronounce it, Gens. And they are certain genies, pretty much. and they all have different abilities that'll give you certain powers. And then there's also this market that you can buy from, which will also give you points. It's like a set collection. So it has set collection. It has like a pickup and drop or whatever you want to call that. And then the bidding. It has everything going for it. And it makes a whole cohesive, beautiful experience. Like, we listened to like Arabian music and like Aladdin soundtrack. And we just had... I loved it. You were a little like, I'm not sure about this.
I think it's a really good game. It's just not in my tops.
Sure.
It's a really good game.
Yeah, I think we need to keep trying it more because we only played it the one time, but the one time was so memorable. And yeah, we're going to keep on playing it because it's a beautiful game. It's very simple in its teach in a way, but it has tremendous depth, I think. And I do want to say, I think it's a modern classic at this point. So, yeah. That is 5 Tribes.
Yeah. Next up is a game that, oh man, it stresses me out. So did the first one.
Yeah, it's based on this is the sequel. But,
yes. So Forbidden Desert, it's really fun, and I will always be happy to pull it out and play it.
Yeah.
Will I feel good afterwards? That depends on how, if we win or lose.
It is a stressful game. It can be, yeah.
So in Forbidden Desert, there's these tiles that place, and each are a different place in the desert. But they're all flipped over, so you don't know
covered
where
up.
they are.
You don't know where you are. Yeah.
Some are covered up with piles of sand. There's a sandstorm in the middle that's gonna move based on what card you draw. And your plan is to find the pieces to your aircraft.
Yeah, it's like a steampunky kind of aircraft thing.
A steampunk aircraft.
Yeah.
Like airship.
Yeah, because you crash there, you're trying to find all your pieces. Yeah.
Trying to find all your pieces, but you can't do that without uncovering these tiles. So you're going to be walking around uncovering tiles. Try to stay, because you all have your own water that you have, and once you run out of water, you die.
Yeah, you have to work together. I mean, it is a cooperative game, but you have to work together because like there's one person who can distribute water, and if you don't have that person playing with you, I don't see how you could do it.
But basically, after every one of your turns, that's when you draw cards to see where the storm moves. Wherever the storm moves, put sand on top of that tile, which means you have to get rid of the sand before you can flip it.
It's just crazy. It's piles high of sand everywhere.
You can get really high on it.
Yeah.
And it's like...
It's
stressful.
Yeah, it seems like all the odds are against you in this one.
But sometimes when that feeling is there and then you win, it's the best game because you feel so accomplished and amazing and you're proud of yourself.
Yeah, well, it's made by Matt Leacock, who did Pandemic, and that is a very stressful game in general. So, the way that he builds his games, he makes it seems like the odds are against you.
So this game, stressful, but love it. We'll always want to pull it out. Sure. Would love to make other people stressed and show it to new players. But yeah, Forbidden Desert.
Forbidden Desert is great, yeah. Cool. All right, next is Cascadia. Cascadia, oh
love
God. Yes,
beautiful.
This kind of is almost like Carcassonne in a way, except it's not a shared tile system. It's your own. And it is the most peaceful game.
Oh, I agree.
Or what? It's one of the most peaceful games, and it missed our list on the cozy games.
It was there in the background, I swear.
Yeah. But this one is so cool because on your turn, there's a shared tableau of 4 different tiles, and on them are different types of animals. And I think there's only 5. I think there's salmon, bears, deer, fox, and eagles. I think that's it. Very simple.
Yeah.
And so when you grab that, you also grab the animal associated with it, and you just attach it to your ecosystem.
Yeah, that you're building yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can place your little animal on wherever it says that you can, and then everybody scores the same way. So the variability is really cool because in the beginning of the game, you are shown each of the types of
ways to score points.
Yeah, exactly. So like each animal scores in a different way, and I think there's 5 different
It's
cards.
Really cool because it can be different every time that you play how you score.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like bears need to be together, or foxes need to be surrounded by other animals to score, and it's really cool. what I like to do is when I place my tile, I want all the mountains to be together. I want all the forests to be together. That's how I won every time. And you don't have to do that. And people can win without doing that because maybe it'll work better because you need to have your bear over here or your fox or whatever it might be. But yeah, it's a satisfying game all in all, and just it's beautiful. It's really, really great.
Great game.
Yeah, that is Cascadia.
So last but not least, Arkham Horror the card game.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it had to be on here.
It had to.
Yeah.
It's just a card game. But
it's not.
Tell you it is not.
Yeah.
I never got so immersed in a card game before.
Yeah.
Let me I never would have expected.
No, and it's so amazing because we've only played it the once, and we're getting ready to play it again very, very soon.
Very soon.
Yes.
Yeah, so you get to choose who you're going to play as, and every player has their own insanity level, and their own mental level and their own health level. So every character's different, and they all have their own special abilities. So you're going through this house, and I can't remember the exact scenario that we did about what you needed to get done.
Yeah, well, it was trying to, it was just gather clue tokens.
Yeah.
So
we had to continuously explore.
Yeah, to stop what I think it was all the whatever was happening in the house. We had to stop it. I don't know how.
I can't remember the exact thing, but basically you're trying to stop whatever's going on.
Yeah.
So you're going through, you're investigating areas, you're picking up clues, you're exploring. Sometimes monsters spawn, and it's not fun.
No. Or fog can happen, and then it's hard to see because you can't look for clues, and it's just
so it's a fun game. It's fun to play with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it is. I don't know how it is at 4 players, but it's such a wonderful experience at 2, and it's a little role play. We actually felt like we were forced to role play. Yeah. Because it's like, okay, I'm going to go over here. Okay, well, it's like we're talking everything out in a very thematic sense too. And if you go downstairs, there's the cellar, and it's like, oh, what's in the cellar? Oh gosh, watch out! Be careful. Here, take this with you. Yeah. And so going in the attic is very dangerous, but just being able to move around with cards. It's funny because your little character card feels like a little miniature.
It's a person. You're controlling this little person, even though it's a card. It's so immersive.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just a fun game, and I can't wait to play it again.
Yeah, for sure. We need to.
Art is so cool in it. The style.
Yeah, it's very it's very deep Lovecraftian horror. Well, it is based on the Cthulhu mythos and stuff. But yeah, we just can't wait to dive right back into it. So.
We love it. Arkham Horror, the card game.
And that was 10
board games with no boards.
Yeah.
No actual playing boards.
Yeah, how's that possible? I don't know. We're still asking ourselves the same question.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you do like our stuff, please share it, like it, comment with us. We do enjoy talking to you.
Yes.
Just thank you guys for supporting us and being here.
For sure. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.